It's day 40 in the search for the missing Malaysian Airlines jet, and still not a single piece of debris has been found.
And back with us to talk about the latest in the search is former military pilot and aviation expert Justin Green. Welcome this morning.
Thank you for having me.
Justin, what's the latest on the search?
Well, the latest is they're actually underneath the ocean now with a probe called a bluefin underwater search probe that's doing sonographic search of the seafloor, and that's a very, very positive development, because that tells you that they actually have an idea in a general sense of where the actual wreckage is at the bottom of the ocean. And meanwhile, on top of on the surface of the ocean, they're actually searching in a different area for wreckage that might be floating away. That search hasn't found anything other than a potential oil slick. They're testing the oil from that oil slick. Remember, at the early part of the investigation, they found a different oil slick.
Right.
It turned out not to be it. But still, it's a potentially positive development.
Okay, but after 40 days, is there any chance that the batteries in the black box are still working?
The batteries are rated for 30 days. So, just like everything else, if you go on a bridge that says it's a 14-ton bridge and you're 14 ton and 1 pound, it's not going to necessarily fail. So the batteries may actually still be working, but if they are, they're getting fainter and fainter, and they're going to die soon.
Wow. So if they're not working, how much will it really hurt the search?
Well, you have to understand, in Air France 447, the batteries died before they found the black boxes. They had a much better sense of where that aircraft was. But it took them 2 years to actually find the black boxes in that case.
Unbelievable. You've been here from the beginning, ever since this happened. And, they've used planes, they've used ships, now they're using submarines. What else can they possibly use to find this?
If there's something else other than satellites, if there's something else, we're not going to know about it because it's going to be top secret.
Okay.
It's going to be something that the government is using that they don't want anyone to know about. But as far as I can see, I've seen them use everything possible. The only other thing is, I said this early on, we actually may find this wreckage because some fishing boat comes across something floating on the ocean. So this, it's just like in New York City, if you see something, say something.
Yeah.
It might actually be somebody who's not involved in the search that actually gets a clue.
All right, now everybody's asking, it's been in the news lately, how much is this costing and who's paying for it?
Well, that's a good question. There's actually an international treaty that says who's in charge of the investigation. It's called the Chicago Convention. Malaysia's in charge of the investigation. Malaysia doesn't have to necessarily pay all the countries that are coming in to volunteer, like the U.S., China, Australia, other countries. And most likely, the U.S. is going to suffer its costs, and Australia is going to pay its costs, and so forth. I think the U.S. is about $10 million in now, but you have to understand how they count it. So we own a ship. The ship's in the search. We're paying for the ship anyway. We're paying the people on the ship anyway. So they're not counting those types of costs in this like $10 million. But if you really put into all the money that is going into that cost is going to be very much. But I think Air France 447, they put the cost about $50 million. Up in Swiss Air 111, it was about $39 million.
Wow.
So it's probably going to be $100 million in this case.
Yeah, but you mentioned before it took 2 years to find another plane. At what point will they stop looking?
I honestly, I don't think they're going to stop.
Really?
They may stop the surface search. You may actually hear that soon if they get really positive about the floor of the ocean search. But I don't think they'll ever stop, because think about this. It's a 777. It's a Boeing 777 made in this country. It flies everywhere in the world. You've probably been on it. I've certainly been on it several. So if there's a safety problem with that airplane, it's very, very important to find. And remember, they haven't stopped searching for Amelia Earhart, so I think they'll keep searching for this.
All right. Well, thank you so much,
problem.
Justin Green. You always are welcome here on the couch to share your expertise with us. So thanks for that.